Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad to hear this morning. I have a special guest here in the studio. But first, let's take a look at our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Luke Pollard and hard-working crew getting those Christmas presents ready. We're going to take them to the schools this Friday. So any time between now and then you want to drop off a present, it would be appreciated. Look at our weather today, high 76, low 60, and some stormy weather out there. So just just be careful on the roads and sort of watch what's going on, and always keep you better, safer distance in this kind of weather. The water temperature at the end of the pier now is 69 degrees. It's pretty warm right there compared to what it will be within about 2 to 3 weeks. Take a look at our river readings brought to us by Mountain Dew. Get out and do. We're looking at the Apalachicola at Bluntstown, 6.4. We got a little bit of a drop to it. And the Choctawhatchee at Caryville this morning is at 3.2, and it's steady, pretty steady. But as, like we said yesterday, this rain is definitely going to be bouncing it up some as these feeder creeks put that water in there. The tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Good tides today, really nice tides, a strong outgoing tide. This weekend, not much of a tide. But today's the high tide this morning was right at 12:02, so it's going out. It's going out all the way out to about 10:35 this morning. So we're really strong right now. It's falling out. Then it's going to be coming back in this afternoon. The wind will be southeast at about 11. Let's take a break. We'll come back with our special guest. Welcome back, folks, and welcome our guest this morning, Steve Rogers. Welcome back.
Glad to be here.
He's been on before. Remember the customized rod and sandhill sticks. But Steve is just a consummate outdoorsman. We're running each other a good bit, and he loves the outdoors. And we got so much to talk about. We're going to try to cram it all into one show. And so, what have you been up to lately?
Well, right now it's hunting season. Trying to do a little hunting. Spend as much time as I can in the woods. A little bit of fishing, and making a few rods.
And you're camping some.
Doing some camping, yeah. Trying to mix that in there too. So.
I see some pictures. You're talking about a consummate outdoorsman. He does all of that stuff. Yeah. And we were talking, we often talk about here on the show, just getting out in the woods and walking, whether you're hunting or not, just getting out into the woods. Yep. And you've done that your whole life.
I have. Raised in the woods. Like I said, it's odd. You've talked on here before about finding sheds in the woods. Mm-hmm. I'd never found one. Never. I found this one just a couple of weeks ago.
Wow.
Stumbled up on it. And you can see that the squirrels and the rats have chewed on it to get their calcium. And then about 2 weeks later, my son found this one.
No kidding.
Only a couple of 100 yards from where I found the first one.
You think are they matching? Let me see.
No, they're from the same side. So that was the first thing I thought was that may have been a matching set.
They're the same side.
But they're from the same side.
Okay.
But yeah, this one was found. He found it last week, I believe.
Okay, y'all, Washington County?
In Washington County, just outside of Vernon. We've got some property there that we've hunted for many years.
Yeah.
With my grandsons hunting now, that makes 5 generations.
That's awesome.
On that piece of property.
That's great.
So that's very special to me.
So you know it pretty well.
Pretty
well.
Pretty good.
I know, but still, here you are. You never found sheds, and you find them this year.
That's right. That's right. Never found one, and find 2 within about a 2-week span.
Wow, that's cool. So, yeah. Now we talk about finding different things, and we talk about our history and our heritage. I know we talk about it all the time, and you talked about enjoying the syrup making video we had the other day.
I enjoyed that very much.
And we started talking about some of the things. And your granddad had a
my granddad and my great grandfather used to run an old grist mill, mm-hmm. and I've heard him tell many stories about running that. They built it. They cut the timber, went to the swamp, cut the timber, pulled it out, built it, and run that grist mill.
Well, see if you find little pictures of that. We'll show it. None of them are operating now, to my knowledge, anywhere. But it's the same principle of grinding stuff up and making flour and all.
Use water power to run the grist mill.
Yeah, and there's one up in Greensboro for a long time, Shepherd's Mill, and the Hanna family, Randy Hanna, who is now the president of FSUPC, his family ran that for a couple of generations. So maybe I'll get, if anybody on FSU PCC watching the show, tell Randy we want him to come on the show and talk about it.
Yeah.
Now, you found some stuff in the woods.
I have. The property we hunt has been worked in timber. It used to be farmland, pasture land, a lot of cows, but over the last 40 years it's been in timber. And these are some of the old things that, if you don't know what this is an old tin that they used to catch the turpentine from the sap from the pines. They would attach this to the tree and what we call cap facing it. They would cut some slashes in it and the sap would drip into this and they would gather it and use it. And this also is another type of container that they would catch it in. These are, I don't know which one's the more modern one. I really don't know.
You know, I don't know either, really.
But this particular one, I'm very fond of it because you rarely, very rarely, ever find one whole, as this one is. They're generally in this condition, broken and in pieces. I have several of these, but only one that's still whole.
That is special right there. You just don't see it.
And you can see the hole in the back of it here, where it's hung from the tree and let the sap run in it. So.
And what the cap face means, they would just cut it so it looked like a cap face, and then the sap would ooze out, and they would let off. The foreman would let off what they call runners, and they would just make a big loop through the woods and collect them and pour them in a big old container.
That's right.
And you know that'd be messy work.
Oh, I know it was.
You know,
I know it is.
Ooh.
Yeah, sticky. Ooh. Yeah. Just messing with a pine tree now.
Yeah.
Just a big mess, but I couldn't even imagine what they would look like at the end of the day.
It was a naval, we call it a naval stores industry, and they put it all together in big old barrels, and then bring them down here, and either ship them off or either put them on a train and take them to the destination. But it was big business inland here. We had the fishing on the coast, and we had a logging inland, and these are the remnants of it. The
last place that I saw some cat-faced pines was probably 10 years ago out on the beach.
Okay.
Off of Kelly Street, north of 98. We were in there doing some work, and I saw some old timber through there, and I just had to stop and look at it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting because I don't know what years they stopped doing it, the 30s or 40s.
I don't know.
But they started just doing a different method later on. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be back with Steve. Okay, welcome back. Sitting with Steve Rogers, and it's Christmas time. You realize that?
It is.
I mean, it's right around the corner.
Just a few days.
And
just a few days.
Steve brought some presents and all. Before we get to them, your camping. How's your camping going?
We're doing good. We had a trip down to Carabel just about a month ago and enjoyed that very much. Went down and did absolutely nothing. The hardest thing I did was threw a cast net one day and caught a few mullet and brought them back to camp and put them on the grill. And if you've never tried grilled mullet, it's very good. It's very good.
You know, that is something really good. That's something really good. We also, I want to go ahead and put your, talking about custom rods and everything, I'm going to put we'll talk about this all the time, your phone number on here.
Yeah, there we go.
Sandhill Sticks, handcrafted rods, Steve Rogers, and there's a number on the lower hand corner. And you say you've been pretty steady doing it.
I've been pretty steady. That's the way I like it. I don't want to get too overwhelmed. Yeah. As long as I've got a few in my logbook that I can work on, when I get one turned out, I'm happy.
Well, Steve, what he did this morning, it's really, he's good-hearted about this kind of stuff, but because he presented me with one last year, and guess what he did this morning? Hand us that one over there. He brought Jeff a customized Georgia Bulldog rod. Now, is this special?
Got it upside down there.
Okay, let's turn it right this way. It's got, look at there. That is so lightweight, and it's in. Jeff, as you know, is a big Georgia Bulldog fan, and this is beautiful.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. It really is. In fact, I'll show you. I got a picture of Jeff here. We don't get a picture of Jeff very often. Look at here. That's him giving. Look at Jeff. He's happy right there.
He's smiling.
Hey, all right. And here's the logo. See the logo on it right there? Is that cool or what? Really well done. And this, we talk about the special, what a special deal that is. when you customize something, you just can't buy it at a store, and that's why it's customized, and you're able to do that.
That's right. And I can do most anything within reason. Within reason.
What is that? The spinning rod? Is that what most people are wanting, or for the most part?
Well, believe it or not, most people want a spinning rod. Is right.
Okay.
I do build a lot of casting rods for freshwater, and that's what I try and stick with. I try and stick with the light inshore stuff and freshwater things. I have done a couple of deep sea rods, but I would prefer to stay away from those.
Yeah.
It's fun, and a spinning rod is just an all-around. You can use it freshwater, saltwater. It's all-around rod. You can use it anywhere. It's very versatile.
It is, and they're so lightweight now. I'm always afraid when I cast them, if you're going to fly out of my hand, I won't feel it. They're really nice and all, so we appreciate you doing that.
Well, thank you.
And I think Jeff,
you're most welcome.
Jeff, now we got to let him get some time off so we can go fishing. He works, stays so busy. When people call now, I know it's too late for Christmas right now, but could they squeeze something in if they maybe say a gift certificate if they want to do something like that? Say later on, they could maybe give a customized rod or something.
Usually the turnaround time on them is it's going to be a couple of months. Mm-hmm. So if you have a birthday or a special event coming up that you want one, give me 2-3 months leeway time. That way I don't keep the things in stock per se. I'll order it once I get an order for it. There's so many different things. And if you want a special color, sometimes I have issues getting those colors in just from a manufacturer perspective. So.
And I want to say again, we actually tried to do some rod wrapping out the way for a year or two, and it takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of skill. And
I don't know so much about the skill. It takes a lot of patience.
I mean, it's just fascinating watching them do that. I mean, it's such a process, and I just really enjoy it.
I will tell you this, a lot of times I have to just get up and walk away from one and come back a couple hours later. I'm working on one right now. Got it for a gentleman in Milton, and as I'm working on it, I've got just old pistol grip.
Oh,
style. Yeah. Cork's hard to work with. And I got the cork grip on and was waiting for some of my glue to dry. And when I came back and looked, the cork had split.
Oh, no.
So it's to cut that all off, clean it up, and start all over again.
Does that happen very often? What makes it
Not very often. That was all on me.
Okay.
I think I did not have it sized just right.
You're still in a learning process.
Somewhat, yes.
What is the single biggest challenge of doing them, of this?
There's getting the thread to stay sometimes. You'll be challenged with one. You'll have all the guides sewn on, and you get to the end, and you look back, and there's one that's come loose.
Oh.
And they have to go back and do that, and then you look back, and well, one down here is undone. So just sometimes that, every now and then you'll get the rod that is just from, where. It's just, it's just a rod that's hard to work with.
I guess every project is different, isn't it? It's hard.
The basics are the same, but yes, everyone has its own personality, if you can say it that way.
That's interesting at all. You ever count the amount of time you put in a rod?
Oh no, if I did, it would cost you about $1,000.
I can understand that. He does not make minimum wage.
No,
trust me, he does not. I've seen it.
I truly really don't make much money off of them. I really don't.
I wish I'd take some pictures of when I try to get my students doing it. I bought some real basic kits and all. As I look back on it, it was hilarious. They were trying, to get stuff all over them, and said, this ain't working. And it was,
right. Well,
and we never finished one.
With sort of big fingers and a little bit of arthritis, it's a challenge at times. It really is. I enjoy doing it though.
Yeah. And the little machine turns it as you're doing it?
No, sir, I do it by hand.
By hand?
I do it by hand.
Wow.
I've got a little mechanism that holds my threads and keeps a tensioner for my thread, but I turn it by hand. I turn the rod blank by hand.
Wow, that's cool. We're going to take our final break and come back with Steve. Welcome back, folks. Sitting here with Steve Rogers from Sandhill Sticks, and we're always glad to have Steve. He's just full of outdoor stuff and all. But let's look at our fishing game time today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. This morning, 3:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m., and this afternoon, 12 hours later, 3:31 to 5:31 p.m. Those are our times. Run by, check them out at Blue Water. They got all kind of cool stuff. Talking about, you mentioned earlier about grilled mullet. Now, I've had fried mullet like most of us, and we've had smoked mullet I enjoy doing, but talk about grilled mullet real quick.
Well, let me start out. Fried is the preferred way.
Okay, yeah.
Friend of mine, Herschel Hill, that I fish with some.
Retired state trooper.
He had told me one day about he was going to have his fish cleaned and ready to eat in 30 minutes when he got home, and I said, no way. And he told me about grilling his mullet, and he told me how he did it. So I tried it. And it's as good as any grilled fish you'll get at a 5-star seafood restaurant.
And
it's very good.
That sounds good. I want to get with you on that, and we may try it out. What about, you had some camping folks camping?
We were I think I mentioned earlier, we were down at Carabel camped, and I caught a few mullet, and there were some folks there from Cleveland, Tennessee. They knew what a mullet was, but they used it for bait.
Yeah.
So I convinced them that mullet was meant to be eaten instead of used as bait, and I invited them to come by the camp later that evening. They came by the camp that evening and told me that it was better than the grilled grouper they had had the night before at a restaurant.
Whoa, and a lot cheaper.
A whole lot cheaper, a whole lot cheaper. And they knew it was fresh. They saw me catch it.
And that's the key to it. And we got to get with you on send some pictures next time you do it. We'll talk about doing it.
Okay,
or next time just call me if you're not. But I can't go down to Carabel. But
yeah.
He brought us. Okay, he brought us to. Look at here. This is a present he brought for the folks down at Fox 28, and we're going to open it on air.
We just have to cut it.
Let's see, but isn't that cute? Your wife put that on there?
I won't say who put it on there.
All right, you got a knife on you? Boom. Okay, you always got to have a little pocket knife with you. All right. You know, I've been saving up all of our Christmas wrapper, all this paper and all. It really makes, on Christmas morning, we just pack it up and take it out outside in the fire pit.
That's what we do.
Is that what you do? Just have a big old bonfire.
That's what we do.
It doesn't last long, but it is bright. Okay?
It burns pretty quick. Yeah, that's what we do. Save from putting it in the garbage.
Yeah.
And we'll.
It's a little tradition ours when everything's done.
Don't call OSHA on me because I'm cutting this way. So
okay.
I should know better. But.
You're doing good. Hey, never bring the knife towards you, Daddy said. Okay. Let me see. One more time. All right. So here we got right here. So we're going to open it up. Whoa! I'll get too excited. Check this out. Look at that. You got jars. You got jars in here. Look at that. We're gonna give a jar to everybody here at Fox 28. This is so nice. Tell us about it.
Well, I've got some grapevines at home, and I try. Well, anyway.
Look at it. Christmas is still.
We try to. I try to always make some jelly every year and give it to as gifts and stock up enough for me to last me through the year. So
look at that.
I enjoy giving it away as much as I do eating it.
So tell us about it. This is a little darker here, okay?
Yeah, this is, they're both in the scuppling muscadine family. The bronze colored is off of my vines.
Okay.
And the purple color is off of one of my brother's.
This is your vine, this is your brother's vine.
Correct. Sad news is on my brother's vines is he built a new house and moved. So that's the last of the purple.
Oh no.
I was able to make plenty of it this year, and I did get a couple of his vines that were rooted. So maybe in a few years, I can have my own of those.
That's a good idea to do it that way. That is so cool. So I tell you what, this stuff tastes so good. So here we are this week. We talked about the cane syrup made here locally by the old-fashioned way. Here we go, scuppernine, the scuppernine vines. The old-timers did both of those.
Right. The vines that I have, I also got those that were rooted from a friend of mine that I worked with from his father-in-law many years ago.
No kidding. There's some I call those things like legacy plants because they're just DNA or whatever it is in plants.
Right.
It's strong.
It is. Don't let that one fall. I was surprised. I walked out under my barn the other day and by my vine, and there were 3 grapes. They're not giving up. They were hanging in.
They're very strong. Like those blackberries, and you're talking about blackberry jelly is good.
It is.
And
it is.
Again, that just sort of almost grows wild around here. But you don't see as much as you used to.
You know, you don't.
You really don't.
We used to pick a lot of those when I was a child, and my grandmother would make some blackberry crunch. She called it. I forget.
Well, I made a blackberry pie too, and just sort of, and oh
That's
man,
right.
and we still try to do it every now and then. But Steve, we appreciate this.
You're
most
most welcome.
folks here, and
So I get a kick out of giving it as much as I do eating it.
you know, a lot to be said about that, especially something that's homemade, and we just that's special. So we do. Now, if we got about a minute left. If folks do want to later on get a customized rod,
Yes, sir.
Steve, you saw the number earlier.
Yep. Give me a call, and I'll walk through it with you. And if you don't know what you want, I'll explain to you what you do want.
That's true. Here it is right here. Put the number up there one more time. 596-4435. That make a great present, great just a great time, birthday or whatever. Okay.
You can call or text me. So
Okay.
if I don't answer, just leave a message.
Okay. So we got about you got some. You ready for hunting season? Ready to get started?
I am. We've been wide open already.
Okay.
And haven't seen a lot, but we're hanging in there.
Well, I was talking about that in December. You just don't see a lot. All of a sudden in January, they just come out of
Right.
all over the place.
They do.
Ain't that amazing?
They do. I'm enjoying it with my grandsons.
Oh, I know. That's special. Folks, thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. We appreciate your viewership. Steve, thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach.
And
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. You have a great day. God bless.
God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.